Foot binding was popular during the Song dynasty, 960 to 1279 AD. It originated during the Five Dynasties and 10th period of the 10th century. The bound feet were called golden lotuses because of a story that an emperor's favorite concubine danced on a gilded lotus flower with bound feet, which gained the emperor's favor. Then other concubines imitated her, making the practice popular, spreading from the royal court to the whole country. It was thought to be a sign of beauty. It was also a sign of good breeding, beauty, and wealth. Men wanted women with tiny feet. However, it destroyed women's ability to function independently and lessened their chance to walk, dance, and move. There were two attempts to ban foot binding. The first was by Emperor Manchu Kongxi in 1664. He didn't succeed because in some parts of China, girls with lotus feet had higher prospects of getting married. According to estimates, between 40 and 50% of Chinese women in the 19th century had their feet bound, and 100% of the upper-class women had bound feet. The second time was in 1912, where it was banned. However, some women still did the binding in secret. It was mostly done in poor villages in Shandong and the Yunnan provinces. Once the People's Republic of China was founded in 1949, foot binding was completely stopped, and women today do not bind their feet. According to ChinaHighlights.com, foot binding was done in 4 steps. Step 1 was feet were soaked in warm water with herbs and animal blood. This helped to soften feet to make them easier to bind. Step 2 is the smaller 4 toes were curled over to the sole of the foot with great force. Step 3 is binding cloths were used to force the toes underneath the sole. At the beginning, feet were tightly bound to get them used to the binding. Then they would be bound tighter and tighter later on. This process lasted for several days to 2 months. Step 4 was the toes and arch were forcefully broken, and then binding cloths were used to curl and hold the feet further. Feet needed to be tightened this way until they no longer grew. Are a pair of shoes that were worn by a woman who bound her feet. My parents bought them in China in 2001. This is my foot in comparison to the size of the shoe. I wear a size 5 in women's shoes and can sometimes fit into a kid's size 4. My foot is both wider and longer than the shoe.